Right-ho, simple as they come, I recreated a Victorian doily. Here she is. This is of course a pattern from Victorian Crochet by Walden and Company. Here is the marvelous engraving, very Victorian, back loop, trefoil, sugar cube, so on, cleverly named Crochet Doily. Doily was the surname of a 16th century London haberdasher. This is very boring. This isn't what I brought you here for. I created the doily but using tacking cotton. Here it is. Appreciate it a moment. And tacking cotton is a fine cotton sewing thread basically meant to be ripped apart. It's when a seamstress or tailor wants to temporarily hold fabric together. You can tear it with your hands. It's very fine, very fun, very easy. I'm kind of bored of this. I need to challenge myself to something better because I do micro crochet most of the time. This is micro crochet. Micro crochet is under 1mm, which this is a Alexandra 5.5, and this was a Millwoods 4/20, which I believe would be under 1. Anyways, here she is. I created this one just as a comparison to really make this one stand out better. Here they are, sandwiched on top of each other. Now, I created this one first because I hate doing a project twice. This one took me a few days because I just could not bear doing it. I've already done it, why do it twice? But I think the comparison is fun. And this one is a size 20 Twillies cotton, and the original pattern asked for a coats number 18. I will just show the pattern because I think it was very well written. There were no mistakes, it was very seamless. Here we are, hopefully you can catch all of this. Very mindless, but also every row was very nice and different, so you could keep a nice pace without becoming brain dead. Okay, I did starch this so it's very nice and stiff. With this one, I will say it is not a complete accurate representation. Instead of 7 chain for the picot, sorry for the hairiness, it must have been resting on my legs. I did 5 chains. And then I also made a mistake and couldn't be asked to fix it. I made one more of these trefoils than I should have, so there were too many meshes, and then I had to decrease and hide a few stitches. Can you tell? No, it's all very nice and even. This is for around the house. It's starched and it's made kind of for heavy duty. This one, 0 mistakes. It's like it's going into my lace book portfolio, which for now I don't know what to do with it. I might do because I just currently have it in a frame, but I left it unstarched because starch is a food, so bugs can come crawling around and it can damage the cotton. So with this one, it will be around the house in use, so you know it's going to be regularly washed. With this one, unstarched, keep it as natural as you can to not, attract any bugs. Yeah, pretty fun project, bit too easy. This one was a lot easier. This one was mentally draining, just having to redo it, but it was very nice, very fun. This was the 3rd attempt. I did mess it up because you see how that's rectangular and that's square. I cannot count for the life of me. So I was a bit disparaged, but I continued, and I have a lovely masterpiece which I don't mind sharing. So as I said, this was a Millwood size 4/20, and this was the Alexandra crochet hook, which I do post shorts of all of my anti-crochet hooks. We have the slipknot, the grip tight, the triplex, we have a slider hook, we have a few going on there, bone hooks of course. So I do show the patterns and any relevant ads. And this is a Alexandra 5.5. The hook is really nice. I really like the way it's made. And then it says down here RD number 271297. Of course, this is a lace hook, so it's a cap and handle, interchangeable. Here we have as handle. And then here we have as cap. And if you look down this slit, you will see a coil. And I have a broken hook to show you what that looks like. I didn't break it, it's just how it came to me. This is what's inside that sheath. And this is a 3.5, by the way, the broken one. Isn't that fun? I don't know when this was in production. This is the Alexandra crochet hook, and this style, the coil, I think was popular in the 1880s. But this would have been around 1910s, I think it must have been. And you can see how the crochet hook was formed. Very nice and sharp, absolutely gorgeous. Now, if you're wondering why it's called the Alexandra, so am I. I'm researching it right now because the Penelope hook, it says in the Needlework for All booklet, which I've shown previously, it says for the Penelope hook, it was the original hook used by Her Majesty Queen Alexandra. Okay, then Queen Alexandra crocheted. But then you can't really find anywhere that says she specifically crocheted. But then she did have a needlework war effort kind of, what was it, guild or society, charity set up. It's called the Guild of something. Queen Mary's Needlework Guild or something. Ugh. And she did set up that people would knit clothing and then it would be sent for the war effort. There was a lot of needlework charity she was doing, but I cannot find a specific source that says she crocheted or that the Alexandra crochet hook was specifically inspired by her. We know it is because we've got the Victoria hook, we've got the Alexandra, very obvious it's for the queens, but it may just be marketing by association. That's all I have so far on that. I'm doing much more research. And on Doily, of course, as well, because him just being a 16th century London haberdasher does not cut it for me. But one thing I have been doing research is John Mercer. He was the guy who invented mercerized cotton. So, John Mercer was born in Manchester in 1791, okay? And then he moved for work as an experimental chemist, and he did that in Lancashire, and that was around the 1940s to 50s he was working there. And then around 1950, he accidentally discovered mercerization, at least begun the process. What he discovered is the effects of caustic soda or sodium hydroxide upon cotton, which made the cotton kind of reassemble its fibers and made it stronger and more susceptible to absorbing dyes. But the sad thing is, it never really took off in his lifetime. It was too expensive, and a major downfall is that it would shrink the cotton. Okay, so you would be minimizing the cotton. Instead of getting more production out of it, you would just... So around 1850s when he discovered and patented it, nothing really happened. But what did happen is in 1889, Horace Lowe improved it. This improvement meant that it would actually get stretched out. It would be put under tension, which had the effect of making it again stronger, and then it would be expanding the fibers. You would get more thread for your cotton. So exactly what Mercer couldn't really do, Horace Lowe came back almost 50 years later and finished the job. And the side effect of this was the luster, the sheen that you get on mercerized cotton, how it's all nice and shiny. Horace Lowe is to thank for that. And then basically it took off. Let me see what else I've written down. Did I miss anything? Oh, okay, so it was put under tension and then the caustic soda was washed out thoroughly, and that's what gave that luster and that look, really, but the desirableness of it. Yeah, and then you get companies like Perry Luster coming around and they're bragging, look how shiny our mercerized cotton thread is, and then you have entire patterns made around mercerized cottons. You get coats making a ton of patterns revolving around mercerized doilies and really promoting it, which is very fun. I will be posting all of these facts on the posts here on YouTube because I want to add my sources and really write it out nicely. That's what I'm deciding to do. Because I'm a bit tired, I'll be honest. I'm gonna go off and sleep in a moment.